Hey guys, welcome back to Two Peas in a Podcast with your host Chesney Calda
and Paige Ingalls.
Today we're gonna talk about our friend breakups.
Our friendship breakups.
We each picked one story to do, and Paige, we're just gonna do one story at a time, and
we're not name dropping, but we might call said object some random name.
Yeah, so if you hear a random name, or like word or something, just know it's.
Okay, so
take it away.
I'm gonna start back in when I was 7 years old. I had this friend. Her name was Pineapple. We'll call her Pineapple. We played softball together for the longest time, and she's lived here, so we would always hang out. Her parents were her family was into racing, so my dad raced, so she would come to the races with me. They would go support my dad, stuff like that. Like, we'd always hang out. And then she got into swim, and she kind of just quit. She was like, who's Paige? Kind of just forgot about me, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she quit softball, and it kind of never really went past that because at that time we didn't have phones, so like, how are we supposed to keep in contact?
Yeah.
So kind of just didn't really forget about each other, but it was just kind of like a I don't see her anymore type thing. Well, we'd see each other every now and then. We'd always say hi, give each other a hug, whatever. And then she ended up joining my softball team again. So we started, I was kind of iffy at first because I was like, I don't really want to become friends with you if you're just going to be like, who's Paige again?
Mm-hmm. Ghost you again.
Yeah. So then she joined my softball team, and I was kind of slow at the start. I would slowly play catch with her and hang out with her. And then she joined my school, and she went to my school, and no one at my school liked her, and I was like, you know what, she hasn't really done anything to me, but, other than the ghosting part. So we became friends again, and it was to the point where we were becoming really, really good friends. We were constantly hanging out. It was us in all of our classes. It was us doing all of our projects. We were hanging out every day. I was going to their family events. I was going to her swim meets. I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drive down to Sioux Falls with her because she had swim practice at 6:30 in the morning. So I would drive down with her to Sioux Falls at 4 o'clock in the morning just because, because she didn't want to go by herself.
Yep, and you were that friend that you would do anything for them.
Literally. So I would go, and she would come to all my events. I'd go to all of hers, and then she started getting more friends, which is totally fine. You have more friends than just me, but then it kind of became into I'm hanging out with this friend, so you can't hang out with me, or you can't talk to me because I'm with this person.
You were thrown to the side.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that's how that worked. I obviously had other friends more than just Laura, but I was never I'm hanging out with Broccoli, you can't hang out with me, or you can't talk to me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, whatever, I guess. Not that big of a deal. And through this whole time, Pineapple did deal with such mental health. She was constantly trying to hurt herself and constantly trying to end her life, basically. And I was the only one there for her. I would stop her from harming herself, physically harming herself with sharp objects. And I was the only one that ever knew about it. I was the only one that knew she hurt herself. I was the only person. She had a boyfriend at the time. She didn't tell her boyfriend. Her family didn't know. I was the only person. So I was said only person there for her, or that actually knew. And one day it kind of just was like, Paige, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. You just want to hang out with me so you can use me. And I was like, what sense does that make? What am I using you for?
Exactly.
I was like, I've been there for you through all of your struggles, whether you were trying to harm yourself or actually take your life. And I've got notes and texts and thank yous from all the people around you because they didn't know, and I was the only one. And I'm getting all these thank yous, and you're telling me that I'm just using you. On the same aspect, she didn't have a job. So when we went to Sioux Falls, we would go to Shields and we'd go to Nautical Bowl. We call it Naughty Bowl. We'd go to Naughty Bowl. I was always the person who paid.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have a problem paying because I have a job. That's the point of having a job. I had no bills to pay right now. So I didn't have no problem paying, but you're gonna tell me that I'm using you and then still expect me to pay for things? Like, that's where I have the problem. Because there's no way I'm gonna work my butt off and spend my money on who I thought was my friend for you to just see me as money bags or life support at that point.
Yeah, and just, like, she said you were using her, but it, like, almost sounds like she was using you.
And that's what I kind of felt like. I was like, in general, it kind of feels like it's the opposite way. Like, I never said that because I wanted to be friends with her. Like, we did the same things. Like, she is a great person, was a great person, whatever. But it's just, she started hanging out with the wrong people. And that's what happened. She started hanging out with the wrong people. She started getting in trouble. The friends that she hang out with started getting in trouble. They actually got suspended from school because of what they did. And I was just kind of like, well, if that's who you want to hang out with and that's who you want to claim as your friends, then you
Go
do
ahead.
that. I said, I don't want no part of it anymore.
No.
I was like, if you can't be friends with me because I'm not constantly dropping $100 on you or constantly saving you from yourself, then you do that. But I was like, don't come running back to me. It's like, this is the second time, and I'm like, fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on you.
Yeah.
Like, I was not doing it again.
No.
And so for graduation year, she transferred. We had a big falling out, and her friends kind of got in trouble, and then she kind of just dropped everyone. Everyone kind of just dropped her, especially after they all got in trouble. And she ended up transferring to dual. And she graduated from dual, but at dual she had 0 friends. She quit the swim team. She didn't play softball, didn't do any sports. And she tried, like, communicate or, like, asking me to hang out and take pictures and all this. And I was like, the last time we talked, you told me I used you.
Yeah. Like, why would you think
I was like,
I'd
you're
wanna come back?
texting me now. Now it seems like you're using me.
Because she had no one else.
Yeah. I was like, just because you have no one else doesn't mean you can come crawling back for me. I was like, it's not that I have 80 million thousand friends, but it's not that I'm so loneliness that I'm going to come crawling back to you.
Exactly.
I mean, if I had 0 friends, yeah, I might have came crawling back to you, but I don't. I've learned what true friendship is, and that is not what it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved her. I will forever love her. But you cannot say that I was just using you when I literally stopped you from hurting yourself. And I tried keeping you on this planet because you were meant to be on this planet and you were a good person.
Yeah.
And I just got dirt thrown in my face. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't want to put up with this anymore. That's not how this is supposed to be. We were supposed to have been friends since we were 6. It's like, that's not how you treat one of your oldest friends.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, that is my friendship breakup with Pineapple. Now it is on to Chesney.
Okay, so mine involves 2 friends, but only one of the friendship ended. You know, I mean, you know how groups of 30 go.
Oh,
They
yeah.
always, that's all I've ever been in.
The
has been
trios.
friendships of 30s. One's left out, okay, blah, 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 whatever. Well, it was started junior year. I was going to my dad's class, and the first day of school, and I had no one to sit by. I had, like, everybody, all the girls in that class that I knew they were my ex-best friends.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't deal with this. I'm like, I was like, Dad, drop me from the course.
You were like like mentally struggling.
Yes,
You're like, I don't want to
I
be
was
here.
stressed.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, drop me from this course. And he was like, yeah, funny. And I'm like, well, so I was in like my one of my favorite teachers' room in the morning, and friend 1 and friend 2 came in. We weren't friends at the time. I used to be friends with friend 1. I used to be friends with friend 1 and
Okay.
friend 2. I have like talked to, but like never were friends. And friend 1 was like, oh, like, what do you have? I'm like, oh, I have my dad's class. And the friend 2 was like, oh yeah, me too. So then we ended up sitting next to each other, and we clicked instantly. Like, it was like weird friendship.
Yep.
And kind of like how we were, we
Yep.
clicked instantly. And so it became a trio. We would hang out and stuff. And I knew it was always the 1 and 2 friend group. And I'm like, that's fine, because they were friends before I came along.
Yep.
So I always understood that. I'm like, they're going to do stuff by themselves. Like, no worries,
Yeah.
whatever. Well, then it started becoming, in second semester, all three of us had my dad's class together. And me and friend 2 were starting to get really close because friend 1 kind of distanced herself. But like
By herself.
She was mad that we were getting closer, but it's not like we were like getting more close, it's just because
She was distancing
herself. And so it was kind of a bad situation. Well, that kind of passed, and then throughout the summer, me and friend 2 would hang out, but friend 1 we would always invite, but she would always be like, I'm too busy, or blah, blah, like make up excuses. But then be mad that me and friend 2 hung out.
Yep.
And so senior year came around, we're still friends, but like over the summer, friend 1 didn't invite me to anything. And this one instance I remember because I was at work, and those two went to a baseball game together. And friend 1 snapped me, wish you were here, but you're not, so we don't care.
Oh.
Or they went to a Zaps game, and friend 2 was like, hey, did you invite Chesney? And she's like, yeah, I did. But then friend 2 texted me, she goes, you coming? And I go, no, she never invited me. And so she told friend 1 to get me a free ticket online. And friend 1 said, oh, my dad already ordered them. He didn't get her one. So it was like one of those type of things.
Oh,
like,
she lied.
She didn't like me and friend 2 getting closer, and so she was like
trying to separate you two.
And so then she was taking it out on me. Well, senior year comes around, and we're fine. We don't have any classes together. Or like me and friend 2 have classes together, but now all three of us. And September rolls around, so homecoming. And homecoming week, there's been some like tension, you can tell. And she's like, oh, are you going to the football game? I'm like, oh, I don't know yet, like probably. And she's like, okay, yeah. And this was friend 1. And then we never heard from her again.
Oh, so she like
ghosted us.
Oh.
Like, homecoming game, she said she was going to sit by us at the Olympics. Nope, she sat with her new friend, didn't talk to us, didn't look at us. That whole week, nothing.
So she like full-blown ghosted.
We saw each other on Snapchat and stuff like that, but like, after homecoming, we didn't hang out at all. I guess October, I took her to get coffee for her birthday, but like by that time our friendship was gone. And she pretty much, to sum it up, like she pretty much said we weren't like, it was pretty much like we weren't cool enough for her senior year. But then friend 2 texted in the group chat like October, November, like it would have been, October, like November. Like what did we do like in our group chat?
Because I bet at the point you still had zero idea.
We had no idea.
Yeah.
And like everybody around us was noticing the breakup. Because I mean, when you saw us all together.
Yeah.
And it was like
obvious.
It was obvious.
Something was wrong.
And she was telling a bunch of people lies and stuff, but like we weren't hearing any of this.
Oh.
And so she was making it seem like it was our fault. And so she pretty much texted in the group chat, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but because I can't remember that. But then she texted me separately, and was like, "You got caught in the middle of something you weren't supposed to." And so I showed friend 2 because I was like, I don't, and she's like, I absolutely have no idea. And so that friendship disappeared, and it's not even like, it was a good thing. I think it brought me and friend number 2, like very, very close.
Yep.
Because then we did everything together, like we were unbreakable. But the part that really tore me down is this friend 1, I taught with her at church. We taught at church, we went to church together, we went to youth group together, and she had the church turn on me. And like I would walk into a room, or I would go to youth group, and everybody would stare at me, or they would go quiet because she was telling them rumors and nasty stuff about me.
So what did you get caught in the middle of?
That we don't know to this day. And she's tried coming back into my life, where she texted me like last semester and was like, hey, I'm thinking about you, I hope Lake Erie is going good, you deserve everything in the world. And I kind of was like, I answered, but then I left her open, you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna bring back this relationship. Which now her and friend 2, they're like snapping, but they're not. But that's not my place to put. Like, if they want to go back to each other, they can. I know they were really close before, but like, because I don't even care about what she did in the friendship, but I'm more focused on like she had the whole church turn on me. Because she knew how hard it was for me to find my religion, for me to find my place there.
Yeah.
And then for me to finally find it, and then for me not to even feel comfortable in a room anymore.
To be able to go.
I stopped going, because I was like, I physically can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
I stopped going to youth group and everybody, and the youth like the youth director was like, what happened? And I'm like, I can't do it.
I feel like trios always end, always, because we also started kind of as a trio. It was me, you, and said other person, and then I felt like
we didn't all have the same.
Yeah, we didn't have the same goals. She wanted something else, but then when me and you would do things, or like even in class when me and you do things and it's not her, she gets hot-headed. Like, you can tell it affects her by the way she reacts, but on the same aspect, we are not the first person she runs to either.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. Like, all I've ever been in is 3-person friend groups.
Yeah.
Like,
and they always end.
They always end. I had a really bad one that, like, we kept, like, coming back, but then, like, disappearing.
See, I had a really bad one too. It was me and, let's say Broccoli, same person. It was me and Broccoli. We're actually related, best friends. She was born literally a month after I was, so we're best friends. Only 2 girls at this point in our family, like, whatever. Grew up side by side, lived at her house, she lived at my house. I ended up going to her school because that's how close we were. Like, I hated school, and the only way I knew how to make it through was being with Broccoli.
Yeah.
And so, whatever, we get to high school, and we get this new transfer student, and we'll call her Cantaloupe. We all become friends fast, like, but it's not just Broccoli and Cantaloupe, it's also me too. Like, we become friends fast. I'd say sophomore year is when they kind of like started acting like they were too good for me. Because let's say Cantaloupe was very athletic. Her family is very involved in everything because they don't have, well, their family is like stay at home because they have 12 children.
Yeah.
So they're very involved with the school because they have all the time and so many kids. So Cantaloupe and Broccoli started hanging out, and they would like leave me out, which would make me sad in general because in the first place, Broccoli was my friend first. Like, and now you're gonna try and take my friend and act like I'm nothing. But then they would start hanging out, and then the worst part about it, what would really affect me is we'd get to school and they'd say something. They'd be like, "Did you hear about this?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, I swore we told you." And I was like, "No." She goes, "Oh, yeah, because me and her did this on Saturday. That's why we were talking about it." And I was like, so first of all, you're going to bring up that you were hanging out and rub it in my face. And then second of all, and this happened on, I'd say on the daily. They'd be like, "Did you hear about this?" And I'd be like, "No, what are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, I swore we told you."
Yeah.
Like, so they'd be rubbing their friendship in my face, and then basically rubbing in the fact that they forgot about me 24/7. At the point where I kind of just, like, we always sat together at a lunch table, and at the point where I kind of just got my food, went and sat down, like, I still sat at a lunch table because I was not trading lunch tables halfway through, you know.
That just
like,
doesn't happen.
Yeah, no. Especially at a private high school, like, you have your set table.
Yeah.
And, so I'd grab my food, I'd go sit down, and I'd not really say anything. Or I'd take my food and go sit in my teacher's room and not really say anything. And so then this is when Broccoli kind of was like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And I was like, "You guys don't see me as friends. You guys just see me as like the laughing stock." And she's like, "No, that's not true at all." And I was like, "What do you mean it's not true?" I said, you never asked me to hang out because you say that our schedules line up, but you've never actually asked me to hang out when you're constantly hanging out with Cantaloupe. And then on top of that, you're constantly acting as if you have told me all the drama and all the news when you really haven't, and rubbing it in my face and laughing at me. I was like, "You guys genuinely just think I'm the laughing stock, and I don't like this anymore."
No, not at
She's
all.
like, "No, we see you as an equal friend and stuff. We are just, schedules don't align." And I was like, "You can't say our schedules don't align because you haven't asked.
Yeah, exactly.
You have not asked."
Exactly.
And that's where, and then we all went to 3 different colleges, and Cantaloupe went to some college in Newell, Minnesota, Broccoli went to SDSU, and I'm at Lake Area. And while that has happened, I mean, me and Broccoli are still, we still see each other because she is my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I see her at family functions. But we have kind of got closer again because, like, the trio has split up,
Yep.
Because now with Cantaloupe being at New Ulm, Cantaloupe's acting like a whole new person. Like, she's forgot about us. She doesn't know who we are. Like, we can text her and she won't respond for days. Like, this is not the same girl that I knew in high school. Like, she has gone against a whole bunch of her own rules now that she's in college.
Yes, like, speaking of that, like, friend number 1, that's what's happening there. Like, she used to get mad at me and friend 2 for, like, saying some of this stuff, like, joking about, like, this stuff. And obviously, like, she didn't know because she ended our friendship so fast that, like, the only reason she know that me and friend 2 are, like, friends still is because, like, of other people.
Yeah.
But, like, she's just hearing about what she was like, it's everything she was like, I would never ever do.
I would never ever do
she
this.
is doing.
Or judging you because you did it,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're acting like you're too good, and she's doing all this stuff now, and I was like, wow. So, like, me and Broccoli have became kind of close again, like, we're constantly talking. She actually wants to transfer here because she doesn't like it at SDSU, but, like, I even texted her, and I was like, how is Cantaloupe doing? Because, like, even though me and Cantaloupe aren't friends, like, I wanted to know how she was doing, She goes, oh, I don't really know, and I was like, are you not friends anymore? She goes, no, she just forgets about me. And I was like,
oh,
yeah. I was like, makes sense, doesn't
seems familiar.
Like, we would have never gone through this, and we could still be super tight if it wasn't for Cantaloupe, who's now doing what you did to me to you.
And now you're, that's...
I was like, my personal experience, I've never seen a trio work out. Never. A trio always ends.
I don't know what that means, but it scares me.
Me too. I hope our video does not disappear. Oh, Tom, where were you when we needed you? If this video disappears, Thomas, I'm gonna be so mad.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm trying to see, 22 minutes.
I think that's pretty good.
Okay, well,
thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We'll be back
with
next week for a podcast, but then the week after that, she's gonna be on a trip.
Yeah, we're gonna split it up. I'm gonna do
she's gonna do a vlog. A vlog, sorry.
Blog.
I'll also post it on
being
the
in
podcast.
Florida.
Yep, I'll also post it on the podcast channel.
Yep.
But then I'm gonna do a podcast, and I might even do some true crime.
Ooh.
So
she can't get into too much true crime without me because I am a true crime lover.
So we might be having a couple episodes of true crime.
Actually.
So maybe I'll just do a case on something.
But she told me that I need to blog my experience in Florida.
Yes.
So we are going to take a break as being 2 peas in a pod for a week. But don't worry.
It's just one podcast.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. And
We'll
so
be
it's just
back.
going to be one pod. One pea in a pod.
Yeah, 1 pea in a pod because the other pea will be in Florida.
Yeah.
But, this isn't ending because you're way too good.
Exactly.
So we'll be back.
I think, and I know this is just for a school project, but we could continue it.
I think we might. I genuinely think we will.
It's just fun. So yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for listening.
Goodbye, peeps.